Since the dawn of time, man has been curious. And for almost as long, the Vibes Broadcast Network has sought the truth. Investigate, discuss, explore. Okay, maybe in other episodes, but this one is just listen to the vibes.
The views and opinions of our guests may not necessarily reflect those of the host or the Vibes Broadcast Network. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Listen to the Vibes. I have here Alonso Gomez, and he is an actor, performer, singer, YouTuber. He's done everything but fly to the moon, I think.
Literally.
So we're going to get to know him, and we're going to have a conversation, kind of get to know a little bit about his music and other things that he does, and y'all give him some support. We have lots of great topics to talk about today. We've got a lot in common. He is a paranormal investigator, and
yes,
most people know I am too. So maybe we'll even talk a little ghosts while we're having the interview.
Great.
So Alonzo, just tell us a little bit about you. And before we do you have like a stage name you use, or you just go by your name?
I go by Alonso Gomez.
Okay.
Yes.
So tell us about you.
I'm 21. I was born and raised in Pomona. I moved places to places as a child growing up. It's normal for everyone moving back and forth. I moved to Missouri, then I moved back to Upland, so I was pretty much raised everywhere until we find a final stop, which is San Bernardino. I'm born with a heart condition. It's a very rare condition called DiGeorge syndrome. I was opened up 2 times as a baby, and
wow.
I had a blood valve leak in my heart where the blood valve muscle was leaking too much to the point where they removed it, and a whole bunch of stuff happened. Ever since then, I've been going to doctors after doctors, figuring out when's the next step for my next surgery, because I'm 21 and they want it by the time I'm at least 30, so I don't have to keep going through that anymore. So and I also suffer from depression and anxiety. So that's one of the things that I live with. And I dance, I perform, I sing, I act, I model, I rap, I produce, direct, and write. And paranormal stuff. So I pretty much do it all.
You talk about the heart problems. Now, I don't have the same condition that you do, but
Right.
when I was 36, which is going on 15 years ago, I actually had a heart attack, and I was overweight and I was diabetic and didn't know it. I had high blood pressure and, all those wonderful things, high cholesterol. Yeah. And when I had the heart attack, I guess it happened at the most opportune time. Number one was right next door to the ambulance service, so they were there right away. And of course, I found out about all my other underlying health problems, and I lost about 70, close to 80 pounds, and I've gotten all that under control and was getting really healthy. And then ended up with a degenerative spinal disease and had to retire early, which was about 2 years ago. Right. Gone through a couple of surgeries, and although the doctors seem to think that this is just going to be an ongoing problem, the encouragement that I've gotten from the people around me makes me want to work harder and then try to get past this. And I've strengthened myself, and I've got a long way to go, but it's not giving up. So do you get that same kind of encouragement from your family and friends, and how do they support you?
So like when I'm going through stuff like that with the heart problem and the anxiety built up with that as well, they support me. They tell me, don't give up. You're fine. You're going to be okay. If you have to have another surgery, you're going to do great. Like, they're going to do a bunch of procedures on you. They're going to make you better. So don't be scared. It's just a surgery. They're very supportive. Even my husband, he's very supportive too, which I love too. And like everybody that knows me particularly personally well with my condition, they're so supportive, which is very much needed for me, because when I'm thinking in my head, sometimes we get stuck in our head and sometimes we think we're alone. But in reality, we're really not alone. We're just afraid to open up and to say how we truly feel about what we're
Yeah.
going through or feeling in our head. So I'm glad I have that support system.
And my thing is I like the fact that I have people that are concerned for me. I just
Right.
don't want them to feel sorry for me. And
Exactly the
you know,
same here.
some people they treat you with like kid gloves, like you're
Yeah.
fragile and you're gonna fall apart. It's like, no, if you treat me like everybody else and still be in my corner and encourage me, but if
Right.
you baby me, you're making me something fragile that
Feel
I'm not.
feel fragile when you're not.
Yeah.
You just want to be treated like everybody else. That's exactly what I go through with my family. So my personal family, like my mom, my dad, my siblings, those are, and my, of course, everybody else supports me, but there's just that one particular family who doesn't take you very seriously,
Right.
and they'll treat you very fragilely and blah blah blah. That's if it's gonna be like that, it's whatever. It's because like basically how I see it's like, okay, you want people to treat you the way you want to be treated, but you treat other people like it's their joke. That's not how you do it.
Exactly. And they don't understand that's not what you need. Of course you look for that encouragement, but you don't want them treating you like you're a baby or like,
Right, yeah.
oh, you're going to fall apart. No, treat me like
Mm.
it makes me stronger if you treat me like everybody else.
May I say something?
Sure.
Um, so about being stronger, everybody knowing me, I have a heart condition. I have always lived with my mother. I love her to death. She raised me as a good child. She raised us as a good sibling. Everybody, since I have a heart condition, everybody was like, you're not going to be able to live a life on your own. You're not going to have a good career. You're not going to be successful. You're going to be fragile. You're going to be this and that, blah, blah, blah. Doctor says I would never make it. I would never move out. Look at me now. I have a husband. I moved out of my mom. I was the first one to move out of my mom's out of all of my siblings. I basically proved everybody wrong. I performed at a baseball game, which everybody thought I was like, because people take me as a joke in my family. They're like, "Oh, you could never do this," and then next, 2 weeks later, I end up proving them wrong. Look at me, I performed at a baseball game, and I got paid for it too. So I
That's
pretty much
awesome.
people, yeah, pretty much people shouldn't open their mouths, and then once something happens, they're like, "Oh, sorry, you're the queen. Let me bow down to you," which as they should.
That's amazing that you have made you kind of become stronger.
Oh yeah,
If you're like me, when people say you can't do something, that makes me want to do it that much more.
do it even harder and even push harder. And once you push to that star right there, boom, it will happen.
I had
I'm
a
gonna perform at the Dodgers game. I know it's gonna happen. Watch. 6 months later from now, watching this, I'll end up performing at the Dodgers game, and I'm looking back at your interview with me. I'm gonna be like, "Wow, I was right."
well, I hope you do it. And if you do and you get video of it, send it to me because I'd
I'll
love to share
definitely
it with
send it to you
everybody.
right away. Yes, please.
Yeah, I have a relative that every time I say I was going to try something, they're always
Yeah.
like, "Oh no, you can't do that." Or, okay, let's take for example, I used to live right outside of Houston,
Mm-hmm.
and I grew up there. 40 something years of my life was spent in that general area. And I told a cousin of mine, I said, "You know what? I'm quitting my job and I'm moving up towards Austin." "Oh no, you shouldn't do that. You should keep that job, and you've got security there, and it's too expensive to live up near Austin." Well, number one, I do my research. My
Right.
wife has family and friends up here. So, visiting up here, I found that pretty much the prices and everything are relative to what it is in Houston. Now, granted, the property taxes are higher up here, but I rent, so I don't have to worry about that part. But if you don't take chances in this life and you sit still, then
Nothing will happen.
what's the point of living if you're just going to be stuck in that same old all the time? I mean,
That's
life's
what I
about
used to
risks.
do. I'm not gonna do that anymore. I'm not gonna let people, I don't care what people perceive of me. If you like me, cool. If you don't, move on with your life. Like keep it, yes, we have comments about people, but keep them to yourself. Don't do you think I'm gonna care what I look like, or people care what I look like and say, oh, he looks, ghetto, or he looks like he doesn't like dress normal. If I want to be emo, I'm gonna be emo. I don't care.
That's right.
But it's one life. You take a chance for it, and if people don't like what you do, people live the same way. They think the same way as us. So why judge others? It really doesn't make sense.
I always tell people to don't be comfortable all the time. You find strength in being uncomfortable.
Right.
Just like if you break a bone and when it grows back stronger than what it was before. So
Yeah.
if you fall, if you're going to run across problems no matter where you're at.
No matter where.
But if you're doing something different and out of your comfort zone, you're growing as a person.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And that takes guts.
Exactly. I mean, that's another bit of your personality that's making you stronger.
Right.
You're growing as a person. You're not letting things hold you back. I was married before, and my first wife left, and so I ended up out on my own. And here's people worried, oh, you're living by yourself. What if you have a heart attack? What if you have a
Being
diabetic
fragile.
episode? You know what? What if I get in my car and go down the street and somebody runs a light and hits me and I die?
Right. No one
Anything
can
can
stop
happen.
that.
Exactly. But why be scared? You can't live your
Right.
life that way. That's no way to be.
It's not a healthy mentality or a healthy feeling either.
Thank you. And just like with the depression and the anxiety, I don't know how the experience is for you, but for me, it was debilitating for a while. I had my breakdown a couple of years after my heart attack, and found myself kind of curled up in a closet, and I was hearing voices telling me to do terrible things to myself. And I went to the doctor, found out I had all these problems.
Are you okay now?
Oh yeah, I'm fine. I mean, this was
Okay.
years ago. So, but these doctors, all they want to do is they want to shove medicine down your throat. And that's not helping you either.
No.
I'm not a doctor. And so I want to stress that. So everybody approaches things different ways. Always consult with a doctor before you do anything. But I got off all my medications because I was determined to take my life back. And so meditation, just encouraging myself helped me to get past all this stuff. I don't know about you. If you're on medications, it didn't seem to help anyway.
No, I've never been on medication. The only thing I take for headaches is ibuprofen. That's the only thing I take. But yeah, I never really take any medication. I'll take it unless it's prescribed by the doctor. If it's really needed, I'll take it. But other than that, no.
Well, I don't mean to monopolize the conversation, but I just felt like it's important for people to hear that there are those of us out there that live through this. And I mean, you know as well as I do, you have your down days and you have your up days.
I just had one very recent, like 2 days ago. I'm on vacation and everything's just like, oh my God, it just happens and we can't control it.
Now, do you have a hard time sleeping as well?
Yes. Just sometimes I toss and turn, and it's not only because of anxiety building up in my chest or whatever, it's also nightmares too. So that also builds up the anxiety and the intent. So I would like stay up, watch the clock, and make sure the time is going by fast so I can have time to wake up or whatever. No, not wake up, go back to sleep and wake up before sunrise. But it's like really hard to sleep sometimes because, nightmares are something serious to deal with. Not saying it like in a funny way. I'm not like, it can really cause damage or nightmare anxiety in you. And that makes it more, I don't know, how do you say it, more heavier on your shoulders.
Yes.
At nighttime. And when everybody else is asleep, you're like, where are you at? I need you, but you can't do that because you don't want to wake that person up, whoever's in the house. So it's really intense for me.
It's like your brain doesn't want to shut off either.
Right.
And, I saw a podcast the other day where a guy was talking about anxiety. He's like, everybody goes through anxiety. Yes, everybody does go through anxiety,
Yes.
but people that have this chemical imbalance like we do, it's more than just anxiety. It's like times 100. And I don't think people realize that, it's much different experience for those of us who go through it. The depression, everybody gets depressed. I know that. But once again, for us, it's to the nth degree. It's like you're always telling yourself how, you're just not worthy and you're worthless, and why am I even here, and I'm too scared to even go on. But I don't know, how do you express those kind of feelings?
So can I start off with my backstory first, how I actually really
Sure, of
had
course.
anxiety? So this is gonna be deep and personal. I might get emotional. Don't blame me.
No.
So about a year ago, 2 years ago, I met this friend. Let's just call him Frank. I don't
Okay.
want to put his name out there. I met this friend Frank. He was cool on Snapchat, whatever. We met and stuff, and he met my best friend Asia, which is a former high school friend for 5 years. Wonderful, good friend. I still talk to her till this day because we have a strong friendship and we went through a lot together. What I'm about to tell you is what causes my anxiety at night and my nightmares. He turned out to be very creepy and he harassed my friend Asia, sexually harassed her, harassed me, followed me home. He would threaten me for my money and fame, and it was just really bad and
Jeez.
traumatizing. And that what I went through, the stalker situation, everybody think it was a joke until it happened. Because it was on 4th of July of 2020. I had to lie to everybody that I had a good 4th of July, but honestly, I did not have a good 4th of July. He was threatening me, texting me, making multiple accounts. Police were patrolling my yard. I was in police protection for like 6 months and they finally caught him. Yeah, and they finally caught him. We got a restraining order and now he doesn't bother us. But like once I started getting together with my husband, just very recently, like in March, he texted me. So I had to report it again to the police. And he started texting my friend Asia, threatening her to go to her house, harassing her again after we literally just settled and everything, like like normal civil adults. Like we before it got worse, the day after 4th of July of 2020, we met up, all three of us. We shook hands, we ended it, we blocked each other, say we'll never see each other again. We walked away. And then next he started being psycho again and hitting us up, and everything's over now, thank God. But that is exactly what causes my anxiety. I never put this story out there to the world, but now that I'm interviewing and I kind of want to be a voice for others just in case they're going through that. So it's okay to let all those emotions out.
Yes.
And when you see something or see something happening, say something. Go to the police. Get help. Don't let no one threaten your life if it's at risk. If they're threatening you, take a risk and go to the cops. That's all I have to say.
Well, the thing is too, a lot of times people will let this stuff kind of go on and it starts out kind of small, but then it build
Yeah.
up, and before you know it, it's becoming to a dangerous situation. It's, don't feel like you're being a baby or anything by speaking up for this kind of stuff. I mean, I'm not a small dude, but I mean that there's times when I get scared, and I mean, I guess I handle things differently now than what I used to. I was just a coward and would hide away. And now I kind of
Yeah.
stand up for myself. But sometimes you are not physically able to stand up for yourself before it gets out of hand. That's when you need to go get help. And one place you can get help at is, and we support these guys all the way, is stompoutbullying.org.
Mm-hmm.
They're a great organization. You have people there that you can talk to. They can point you in the right direction. And
Oh
if
yeah. definitely. Sorry to cut you off. I
Oh,
didn't
that's
mean
all right.
to. I'm a victim of bullying. One thing I want to let out of as a voice for others. I have a lot of critics on YouTube who I didn't really think mentality right when they interviewed me like this, because they asked a bunch of personal questions and I let it out, and then they cut it into the bad part version of me and not the good part. And I just want to say, whatever you said to me or did to me affected me once, will never affect me again. It made me actually stronger.
Yeah.
So you think you could, if you are watching this, I feel very sorry for you and hope things get really well. Because I am a victim of bullying. A bunch of YouTubers that try to make it up there used me as a joke and made fun of me, and I lost a lot of friends for that. So I just want to say, don't give a. Am I allowed to cuss in here or no?
If it flies out, it flies out.
What I have to say is, don't give a fuck. I don't care anymore. So make all the videos you want. I don't care. So yeah, I've been a victim of bullying too. So that's one of the reasons that causes my anxiety and depression, is because I let those critics on YouTube and the world get to me. But I realized after doing my research, a lot of upcoming celebrities and artists get that. So I
Yep.
shouldn't feel any type of way. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, when I was in school, I got bullied quite a bit.
Oh
And
my.
I mean, to the point of I didn't want to go to school. I was always telling my mom I was sick, and I was looking for other people to protect me. And I mean, I spent this whole summer right after that incident. So I worked out, and I actually grew a little bit over that summer. And then I said, you know what, getting my butt whooped or not, I'm not going to put up with it this year. I want to have a normal school year. I
Right.
stood up to my bully, and he backed off and never bothered me again. Now,
Very
reality
proud of
is,
you.
well, thank you. I mean, reality is there are some out there that they're just mean, awful people, and they
Oh
won't
yeah.
stop. Sometimes you cannot handle it on your own. I'm not going to give anybody advice that this is the way you handle it. Every situation is different. This is what helped me. And now I actually got my first I guess what do you call them, troll, and sent me a message on my YouTube. And now, granted, YouTube, they do monitor any kind of comment,
Right.
but was telling me that this was the worst podcast he'd ever seen. Called me a you know what sucker, and all this other stuff. And I actually chuckled, and I'm like, you know what? That's okay. That just means I got another view on my video. So
They must secretly want to be you.
sometimes it is jealousy.
Oh yeah.
You you just don't know, but it's why you have to be careful. Um, do you know how many celebrities out there have had stalkers and then end up something bad happened to them, where it just started out as, oh, I love you, and then I hate you, and then I want to kill you. That's
Yeah,
where
I
you have
just
to
hope
be
I
careful.
never get to experience that. That's why I used to have bodyguards, but after my depression, like, how I told you I went on a hiatus, like I disappeared and, went away. I lost contact with them. So I'm probably gonna have to get bodyguards this upcoming year.
Well, sometimes you also need to reset yourself. You
Yeah.
need to step away from things and, get your head on straight, come up with a plan, and you can do it. You can go on with life, but sometimes you just don't know what you're walking into. So be
Yeah.
careful. That's all I
Thank
say.
you.
People are nuts nowadays. I mean, you
More
see,
than nuts.
well, you see how it is on social media. This is why I got rid of my Twitter, was because people would just get ugly. If you
Yeah.
have a different opinion than somebody else, they'll attack you. Um, they'll look for things to attack you. Most of it is just to get, clout and likes and retweets and all this kind of stuff. But some people are just genuinely nasty people.
Show like teenagers showing you half of their body parts in bikinis. I go on Instagram and social media, not that quite often, but I'll post when it's necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I have to say to you guys. I don't want to see your bodies on Instagram. I don't want to see you guys in a bikini showing off your abs. I want to see the truth in you. I want to
Mm-hmm.
see your talents. I want to see your smile. I want to see your family. I want to see your friends, your pets, your inspirations. I don't want to see your bodies. I don't want you to end up like me personally. I'm gonna be flat out honest. I'm nothing but peace and honesty. Everybody has those whole days, and you know what I'm talking about when social media starting. I personally send a picture, not a very appropriate picture, when I was back in high school, and it got out to the world. I literally broke Twitter and Instagram and all that, Facebook, for almost maybe 2.5 months.
Oh, wow.
And I was in high school, yeah. And everybody kept saying, small ass, blah, 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 little dumb jokes. So, of course, what that would build up, depression and blah, blah, blah. I don't want to see that with anybody else or happen to anybody else. So please, everybody, just be careful. And if you're young or 11 or 12 and you want Instagram, I don't recommend it because don't have Instagram, because my little sister, she had Instagram, and I told my dad, and my mom wasn't aware of it because I was like, I'm not being a tattletale. I'm just doing what's best for you, what's safe. So if you're young and want social media, at least get TikTok, for God's sake. Don't get all those other crap yet. Wait till you're at least 15 or 16 to understand the society these days, if you get what I mean.
Yeah. I know that there's a lot of people out there. They're very liberal when it comes to their bodies and photos and things like that. Just let it all out there, and I should be allowed to do that. Okay, yes, as an American, you are allowed to do that. But if you are a little bit more discreet, then you have a lot less to worry about.
Right.
So it is kind of upsetting when you see young children who, I mean, as well as I do, kids nowadays look older than what they really are, but
you see little girls at the store putting on lip gloss and eyeliner and wanting a bikini or a crop top. Like, come on now.
Yeah. The reality of society is you're going to have those creeps out there that are going to get off on that kind of stuff, and they're going to attack kids for that. I'm one that if a woman says no, she means no, walk away, shouldn't be any problem. But how do you expect people to react who already have a sick mind if you're showing everything off like that?
Right.
I mean, I didn't want this to sound like I'm on a soapbox or something here, but I mean, seriously, if you're a little bit more discreet, then you have a lot less to worry about. Not that there's not going to still run across those creeps, but you have a less of a chance of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's get on something happier.
Oh, yes.
So
less dark.
I just feel like that kind of information people need to hear.
Oh, yes, definitely.
So how did you discover your talents?
I discovered my talents in high school because I ran a dance team. Well, okay, so knowing my heart condition, I love to dance. I would watch dance videos, Dancing with the Stars. Jennifer Lopez is my idol, and Selena Gomez too. But I would just watch their videos of performing and stuff, and I was like, hey, I wonder if I can join the varsity dance team at my school. So of course it took a long procedure because of my heart. I had to get a doctor's note approval to do activities, because the dance teacher, she was super chill. She's like, yeah, you can join my dance team, just get a doctor's note, but you would have to try out either for JV or varsity. So I made JV, which is still cool while I was still on the dance team. I didn't care. I wanted varsity, but that's fine. I was on there for a couple of months, and everybody was sad that I left special ed PE because I would always help them out with the activities and stuff. Like, no, we're gonna miss you being our assistant and blah blah blah. And I was like, I'll be back, I'll visit and stuff. I'm just like a building away. But yeah, other than that, after that, I quit being on the dance team and I made my own team because there is a group of special kids, but not saying in a mean way, but they just had special needs, but they love to dance too. So I was like thinking, what if I create a dance team that's equal for everybody? That's not well, that is representative to the school, but it's equal to everybody can join, but you can still try out, but you'll still make it. There won't be disqualifications and make you feel bad and not come out once a year because varsity and JV they come out once. JV comes out once a month, and varsity comes out once a year. Me, as thinking as a representative high school dance team, I was thinking if you're a representative dance team, you should be coming out at all the events and getting yourself promoted to become a higher class dance team, not coming out all one time rally, one time event. That's not how I see it. Right. So I created a dance team called the Ike Mob Dancers, and for special need kids, and I got a lot of people joining in. And we performed at lunchtime events and everything. It was big. So I did that and it became really successful. And I noticed myself by dancing more, I noticed that I can write music and write scripts. So I started getting into acting classes. And I wasn't that until like my senior year. And what else? After acting, I did like short films, music videos, and then I started writing at the age of 18. And I started, practicing on my phone. And I didn't really get into a studio, like a professional, legit studio, until I was like 19 or 18. It could be 18, I could possibly remember. But other than that, I've been going from there. And then when I was 20, I performed at the mall through flash mobs at Target. I would get kicked out. I'm literally banned from the Target by my dad's house because, yeah, there's a story.
At least it's for a good reason, right?
Yes. I did a Jennifer Lopez celebrating 50 years of Jennifer Lopez music video, and I had my gay pride cape on. I started dancing and I put the speaker on, and the security, I don't even know if he was a security or someone who was just hating on me for doing that. He didn't even have a security outfit, or I could be undercover or whatever, he was like, sorry, you can't be doing that. You're going to have to leave and you're not welcome back here. I was like, knowing my self-confident badass, I was like, I don't care. I'm going to start dancing. I'm going to dance. I'm going to play. You know what? I'm going to play the speaker out loud, walking out so I get people's attention. No, and I was like, this dude is kicking me out. He's embarrassing me. And my friend who was recording at the time, which we're no longer friends, he was like, oh my God, you're embarrassing me. So that's how my career kept building up. Because I literally never gave up. People literally try to pull the wire down and try to bring me down. But I just don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Well, you find something that you enjoy.
Yeah.
You do it to the nth degree. I'll tell people that can't sing, if you want to sing, then sing.
Go for it.
Who cares if you can't sing or not? Who cares if other people don't like it? Do what you enjoy. And, you never know. You find your niche, and before you know it, as the term says, you'll go viral,
You'll be at the next stadium.
I have two boys, and both of them were on the dance team at their high school, and we're the only boys on the team. And anyway, my youngest son, who's never really been shy about anything, he's got enough confidence, I think, from doing that he moved on to become a nurse, and he's getting a degree to nurse practitioner, I don't know, whatever the highest you can be as a nurse. And my oldest son, who is a little bit shyer, I saw him kind of just he broke that wall down when he got out and danced. It actually brought tears to my eyes watching him dance, doing things I never knew he could tap dance. and
that's interesting.
It was just incredible. And I guess he kind of listened to some other people around him, kind of brought him down. So you could see his confidence kind of wane, and he got into doing jobs that he didn't really enjoy.
Yeah.
And finally, after the proper encouragement, he went back to school, and he got a degree in what do you call it, anesthesiology, the one you work on your skin.
Yeah.
And now he's not only doing people's
a
skin.
Dermatologist.
Well, it's not a dermatologist. It's the people that they put those chemicals on your face to make you look younger and all that kind of stuff.
I don't know what the name is.
Yeah, I think it's anesthesiology. Anyway, point being is now he's doing that, and he's starting to make his own products, and you could see him budding again. It's like almost like he's dancing again,
Yeah.
All because you got to get your encouragement in the right place. And when people say you can't do something, just push that off the side. Make it your goal to prove them wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, definitely.
And what about your singing?
My singing, I barely discovered when I was at the studio 2 weeks ago. We were like in this mansion house recording my album and stuff. And my husband, he was like, try singing, you never know. Like, this was 2 nights before we went to the recording studio.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just like, literally with this blanket that I'm with, this is like what helped me sing. So that's what my deluxe blanket. So I went under this blanket like this, and I put on my AirPods and I sang Billie Eilish, what is that one song by her? NDA. And I started singing, and then I sang Everything I Wanted, and I got everything on beat, and my voice, I thought it was gonna be like, like all scrappy and all deep and crap. And he was like, you're pretty good. I say you're like about a 10 out of 10, a 5. Like, you could get more if you just keep practicing.
Right.
So, and I was like, what the? And I heard myself, and I was like, so I'm just caring about what I think and what other people think. That's just what's really stopping me. And after that, 2 days after going to the recording studio, I tried to do a Billie Eilish cover, and let me tell you, I didn't bring my lucky blanket, and I didn't have my lucky soda, because when I record at the studio, I like to bring coffee, my soda, and my blanket, and I didn't have none of those essentials. So I was like, oh my God, I'm literally gonna freak out. I was telling myself. And as he pressed start and I started doing the cover, I broke down in tears.
Oh.
Because I was scared of what they thought, but they were really supportive. Like all my team that's working with me, and the producer that I'm signed with, Josh, he was like, you're good, you're fine. I don't know what happened. You did 2 songs and then now you broke down. I was just like, I don't know, I'm not ready for this one yet. Maybe we could do it again. So let's see how that one turns out, and when I go next week.
Hey, it took me nearly 50 years to figure out what I really like to do. So
okay.
You just stay at it. I mean, at least you figured out while you were young.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear your music.
You
have to send me a clip.
Speaking of my music, yeah, I'll definitely send you a link. By the way, if you don't mind me doing the promotion real quick.
No.
My new song, Getting Older and Sinner, is out now. Make sure you guys give it a listen, a like. Maybe comment down what you guys would like to make me to sing or put out next that I haven't, because I do have some tracks that I recorded in my depression time that I went away. So who knows if this might be the time to upload it.
Well, I'd like to share that in this video if you could send me the link. And was it on YouTube?
Yeah, it's called Getting Older, Alonso Gomez.
Okay. I have subscribed to your channel, by the way.
Oh, so thank you. I subscribe to yours as well.
Thank you. I love promoting people. I'm anxious to hear it myself. And
make sure you guys subscribe to the Vibes broadcast. Don't forget to do that.
Thank you.
Go support him.
And I will definitely put your links in my in the description of the video, so people can click on it and go straight to it.
Thank you.
I want to see people succeed, which is why I love promoting people. I bring people on so they can tell their story,
Yes.
and sometimes our stories have a bad part to it, but there can be a happy ending if you just don't give up. You keep trying. Even if you get rejected, don't give up. You know,
Oh no. I
I
had doors shut on me a lot and
yeah,
another door opened.
sometimes that's going to happen. I got bad critiques on my artwork, and so I let it affect me, and I walked away from it. And unfortunately, I have nerve damage where my hands shake and I can't do the art like I used to. But my
Oh
wife is
my.
like, but the flaws are what makes it so beautiful. Keep trying.
Yeah.
And so encourage me a little bit. I'm gonna get back
Oh
into the
no, I
swing of things.
definitely encourage you. Even if your hand is like does it do this or something? Like when your hand gets nervous or something? Or
Well,
how does it?
what it is I've had a lot of nerve damage from my degenerative condition in my spine, and I'm still numb in one of my hands, and then I shake real bad, especially if I try to hold something, and I drop things quite a bit because I can't get that grip. But it's just something else to overcome. I'm not.
It's like me with the heart condition. If I do dancing and I breathe too much, but I still continue dancing. So I
Mhm.
encourage you, if you try, drawing or something and your hand shakes, just think to yourself, what would others think if I gave up this quickly? Keep
Exactly.
trying harder and keep moving your hand to the point where you're able to. I don't know if you draw with a paintbrush or a pen or what do you draw with?
I use different things like pens, pencils, and
Yeah, but I encourage you,
paints,
just
and
don't give up, please. It's really important.
you know what? There's people out there that have no arms and still can figure out how to paint and make beautiful pictures. So
Yes.
I have
Like
no
this one
excuse.
lady on TikTok I saw, I think she was born with, or was in a fire or something. She has no hands, but she was making, those necklace beads that you put on and you put the name on it? She
Mhm.
literally made those and figured out a way to tie it, put the beads on, put the letters on, put it in the box, covered it, taped it. So literally anything is possible.
That's right. You know, there's too many people now that have this victim mentality where they just say, "Oh, I can't do this and I can't do that because this happened and that happened." And if you
That's
look,
just excuses.
that's right. If you look for problems, or then you're going to find problems. But if you're looking for solutions, you will find solutions, which is why
Right.
you don't. There might be that one jerk out there that's just going to talk bad to you, or try to bully you, make fun of you, whatever. And if you give up because of that person, then you've let them win.
Hmm.
It's why you never give up. You keep moving forward.
You may
Don't.
have let them win once, but never again.
That's right. That's right. You don't play that victim all your life. That's ridiculous. And you know I've taught my kids that if you're going to do something, do it to your best of your ability. And use you let people see your abilities, your what's the word I'm looking for. You go by your merit, not by.
Right.
Don't use something as a crutch. Go by your merit. Let people see what kind of person you are, and that you're not going to give up. If the first thing you try doesn't work, try something else. You'll find something you're good at, and you can be successful.
Speaking of don't give up, I'm gonna say something. You might agree with me on this too. When people tell you, it could be relatives, it could be in-laws, it could be anybody, it could be your family, it could be your cousin, it could be your sister, it could be your brother, it could be anybody in the industry or anyone. When they tell you do what makes you happy, but when you do it, they they quickly don't support you. They quickly
Hmm.
jump to the conclusion and say all the bad things you've done or think it's bad because they don't support it. It's like, if you don't support it, don't say anything. Don't bother to poke me or poke someone. Let them live their life. Let them. Who cares if you don't like what they do? It's a hypocrite because people judge other people of what they do in life that makes them happy, and it's about that specific topic. Let's say ghost hunting, for an example.
Right.
Oh no, don't do ghost hunting, it's bad. What did I tell you about, blah blah blah, or this and that. But yet they watch stuff about that. They they find that amusing, they entertaining, and then they're like, they go to ghost houses or haunted Halloween. Halloween is literally like ghost hunting. It's literally the same thing. So I don't care what people say or think anymore, because I'm not gonna stop or feel bad because you don't like what I do. If you don't like it, oh well. Oh well, sorry honey, I ain't gonna stop. It's what makes me happy.
Exactly.
So I don't know if you agree with me on this, but it's the truth.
Well, the thing is you don't worry about what other people think. You're never going to find everybody agreeing with everything you do. There's not everybody's going to fall in line with the things that you do. I say I'm a ghost hunter. I enjoy it, and I've got people tell me that it's silly and there's no such thing as ghosts and all that. But yet they won't go on a hunt with me just to see for themselves. But I mean, hey, you don't believe in it, that's fine. It's what I enjoy doing, so I don't care what other people think. If I want to move to Timbuktu because I feel like it makes me happy, don't put me down because you don't think it's right for me. It's my life. I live my life my way. I'm not pushing my beliefs on anybody else. I'm not telling you have to believe in ghosts. I just enjoy it, and that's the way. I wish more people would think that way.
Yeah.
I think we would get along a lot better if we just let people live their lives
the way they want to.
Exactly. I say I'm not pushing my beliefs on anybody. When I watch football, Dallas Cowboys were my favorite team. I'm not going to force that on everybody around me. Oh, you have to like the Cowboys too. I mean, I tell people I'm not prejudiced. Some of my best friends are Houston Texans fans. So, yeah, that's a joke. You're supposed to laugh. Okay.
I'm smiling.
But I mean, seriously, you do what makes you happy. We need to stop worrying about what other people think, and you will be a lot happier.
And not only happy, but successful and being happy.
Exactly. So do you have your music on Spotify?
No, I want to get it on there. My producer, because all my music that I went through with the other producer, the thing is, my first producer that I worked with, I had a little conflict with him, like a little situation going down. So there is a situation to the point where like he would like sexually, try to do things with me. And like if I wouldn't do it, he's like, I'll burn your music, like I'll trash it, I won't upload it. Like people think this doesn't happen to new artists or artists in the world. But guys, it really happens. I've had a similar experience where a producer was like, if you don't, because I was video chatting, FaceTiming him, like, like getting to show him my song lyrics and like explaining my ideas, how I want to be creative. And then he started being like all sexual and stuff, and like, take off your shirt, take off your pants or whatever. If you don't do it, I'm going to tell my owner or blah, 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 or I'll burn your music and trash it. I was like, no. And so I told my dad, and my dad went off at him, and it was just this crazy experience. But ever since then, I never got the chance to actually upload my music. And then I went to my favorite studio in Rancho, where in my area, Nick DiCarlo production, which they are a really amazing studio compared to the one that I went to my first experience. They were going to, but like I said, I went through a depression. I stopped. So as the time that I was going to, it was around my birthday in December. I stopped everything, and because of the holidays and everything. Plus, I literally, you never know when that depression's gonna hit. So just it just happened. So it happened 2 weeks before my birthday, and at that time, I was recording my first album, Tell Me Something or Say Something. I forgot the name of it because it's been so long of my first album. but I'll remember something. It says something, and I stopped and I never got the chance to upload it. So that's why I'm barely getting back into the studio now.
Well,
But
we're gonna share
next
your
week,
music.
thank you, please. That would be great.
I'll be honest with you, I'm not really into like rap and hip hop and all that stuff, but that's not to say somebody else out there might not enjoy it. And I'm gonna promote it the best that I can, and I hope people will listen because you're a good person,
Oh,
and
thank you.
I've enjoyed our little conversations and glad we got to get together today and do this
Me
interview.
too.
I can't tell you to you're never going to be sad or anything because that's not reality, but do keep a positive mindset, and you're going to have your down days. You might need to step away for a short time, but encourage yourself and know that you don't have to stay in that mental state. um, um, I say I hate monopolizing the conversation, but I was molested when I was a kid, and
I'm sorry.
which was one of the reasons why I have severe depression and anxiety and PTSD, and it's real, people. Just because you haven't experienced it doesn't mean it's not real. You don't know unless you've been in somebody's shoes, and you can't just turn it off and say, oh, I'm going to be happy today, because that doesn't work either. But you can work on yourself,
Thank
and
you.
you can get yourself out of that funk if you allow yourself to. And there's people out there to talk to. You can always send me a message, and I'll do my best to encourage you.
Thank you. I'll
And
be here for you too.
I
We got each
appreciate that.
other's back.
There you go. We do.
And sorry to cut you off.
No,
I
no,
don't
no, no,
mean
no.
to.
Go
I
ahead.
just want to get this out. Growing up, we all grow up, we all make mistakes, and we all treat people differently. And, we don't think it as we do it sometimes because it's life. I just want to say sorry to anyone that I hurt their feelings or disrespected. I'm more mature now, as you guys see if you're watching this video. I just want to be at peace with everybody. I don't want to have conflict with anyone. If you see me happy, please just mind your business. And if you want to know how I'm doing, ask.
There you
But
go.
other than that, I don't want any conflict. I just want to be peace with everybody.
Myself, but to me, it's just not even worth it. But 2 questions before we go.
Yes, of course, definitely.
The first question, and we'll get to the second one after you answer this. If you passed away tomorrow, how would you want people to remember you?
Well, that's deep. Kind-hearted, loving, respecting, caring, joyful, confident, and a badass.
Confidence is good.
Yes.
I think we underrate that. There's being arrogant and there's being confident, and there is a difference, people. Believe me.
Yes.
You can be humble, but you can still be confident.
Yes.
So I'm glad to hear that. And finally, if people want to find you, like social media, do you have a website or anything like that?
I have Instagram. My Instagram's Alonso Gomez Age. If you guys have any further questions about my life or my channel, you can ask Kyle, and then you can also ask me. I have YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, but that's personal. But other than that, you guys can follow me on all those platforms. I'm also on Google, so you can find a lot of biographies about me, a lot of YouTube videos about me. Go ahead. Those are the bad parts, but I don't care.
All right. So I said I was going to tell you or ask you 2 things, but I guess I'm going to ask you one last thing. Do you have anything else that you'd like to tell people before we go?
Yes, I just want to say a couple things. Be yourself, be confident. If you feel like you're a badass, keep that feeling inside you, because no one else is going to tell you to do that but yourself. And I'd like to give a shout out to Kyle, you. Thank you so much for having me on your interview. It's really a pleasure. And I want to give one shout out to all the people that work with me and support me. You guys are amazing, and especially my husband too, because without him, I wouldn't be happier or wouldn't be the person I am today. Like, he literally built my confidence and my happiness up. So thank you, and I love you. And I want to say I love my family, and remember, be kind to one another. Don't, if you see someone bullying someone, stick up for them if they don't have a voice.
Exactly. That's very good advice. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Now, if this is your first time to the channel, thank you for stopping by. I hope you'll come back.
Subscribe to him, please.
Please come back. I hope you like and subscribe, and pass it on to your friends. And
please.
For those of you that are regulars to the channel, thank you so much for your support. I'm asking all of you out there, give this guy a chance. Listen to his music. I'm going to leave a link to it in the description.
Thank you so much.
Give it a try. If there's something you like, let him know. If something you don't like, let us know. You don't have to be ugly about it either.
Yeah.
Constructive criticism. I always look for people to tell me where I can fix things.
Yeah.
But we're going to leave it at that. Thank you. Thank you to you, Alonzo.
No problem. Anytime.
Everyone, take care. God bless, and peace.
Better watch your back.
I'm coming for you.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Listen to the Vibes. You can catch us on Buzzsprout or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, and on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook at The Vibes Broadcast Network